Hey YouTube, it's Kelly here, Keybold64, coming to you with my 15-week update. I am way behind. I think my last video was from like when I was at 2 months out, so I know I'm way behind. But I actually had some exciting news for today because I hit Onederland this morning. Yep, 199.2. I haven't been under 200 pounds in probably, I don't know, 5 years. So it sure is nice to see that number again, and good riddance to the 200s. That's what I say. Hopefully I'll never have to be back there again. So um, just getting back to my original numbers, I started at 261. That was on September 11th of 2011, my first meeting with the bariatric nurse. And then surgery date was 12/27 of 2011. I was at 244.8 for a pre-op loss of 16.2. Since surgery, 15 weeks was yesterday, I've lost 45.6 for a grand total of 61.8 since starting this journey. So I'm very happy with that, and you know, it's not coming off super fast, which actually is kind of a good thing, I think. I haven't had any stalls other than there was 1 week about a month ago that I didn't lose anything, but except for that, I've lost, you know, at least 1.5 pounds a week or whatever. It seems to go in kind of spurts, like I'll lose good for like 3 weeks straight, you know, like 3 pounds, 3+ pounds for 3 weeks straight, and then you know, it'll be like 1.5 pounds or whatever. It's almost, you know, not even like a stall, but it just slows down for that week, and then it seems to pick up again after that. So it's kind of weird. It just seems to be kind of going in that pattern. But other than that, things are going just awesome. I haven't had any problems whatsoever. I had my 3-month follow-up checkup with the doctor, or actually the nurse, and you know, she's happy with everything. I haven't had any complications, no problems whatsoever. So I'm just going to keep plugging along till I get to my goal. I'm hoping to get to 147. That's what I used to be, and that's where I was happy when I had, or actually, I don't know if I ever even mentioned this in my other videos, but I had previously lost like, a little over 140 pounds on Weight Watchers, like maybe 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, and it kept it off for like 2 years, you know, without maybe having gained 5 pounds, you know, up since that, when I had reached that first goal. But other than that, I had, you know, been doing pretty good keeping it off, and then I got married in 2006, so that's kind of when everything, I started packing on the pounds again, and it's just been creeping up since then till, you know, till I had surgery. So glad to be getting back to what I call my normal self. I'm starting to notice it a lot more now. It took at least probably 40 pounds before, you know, I could really tell a difference. You know, people at work and stuff, you know, would make comments and could totally see a difference. But for me to really start getting excited, it took probably 40 pounds. So, but that's fine. Everything's going good. And so now I've got about 50, a little over 50 pounds to go if I want to hit my 147. And actually, even if I get within 5 or 7 pounds of that, I'd be happy. I don't even care if I don't get back down to that exact number that I had been at, but you know, that's what I'm shooting for anyway. So hopefully it will, you know, I'll get there by the end of the year for sure, even when it starts slowing down. So other than that, I don't really have anything else that's really any newsworthy information. But one thing I did want to mention, my my wedding ring literally was falling off my finger, and I didn't want to get it resized yet because I know I'm going to still, you know, keep losing. So I don't know if anybody has ever seen these, or but I just want to see if you can see this. It's kind of hard to see on here, but it's just like a little metal a clip that the jeweler puts on there, and it's adjustable, so you can push it up or down as your, you know, finger gets bigger or smaller without having to actually, you know, pay the money to physically get it resized. So I thought that was awesome. I've never seen anything like that. So it saves me from having to keep getting it, you know, pay to get it actually resized. I'm going to wait till I'm, you know, done, and then get it resized just once at the end. So that, and I don't know what they call it. I think they just call it a ring sizer. That's the only thing that I could see that they refer to it as. But just a little tip there. And other than that, I'm trying to think if I've had any like tips or things that might help people that are just getting started on the journey. One thing, it sounds stupid, but I live by these little 4-ounce Gladware cups. I think one of the easiest things for, you know, staying on track is, you know, well, I have to bring my lunch to work, and if I, you know, have that stuff prepared ahead of time, it just makes it so much easier. I'll make up like a batch of chili, or, you know, usually it's been chili, like either the beef chili or the chicken chili in the slow cooker. And then I just freeze a ton of those little like 3-4 ounce portions in the freezer, and then just grab them every day, you know, for lunch or whatever. And it's just worked out great. So as dumb as it seems, those things are just a lifesaver to me for, you know, keeping my portions down, and just the convenience of having them ready to go and not having to try to figure out what I'm going to bring for lunch in the morning when I leave for work. So just a little FYI. And then MyFitnessPal, I know a lot of people already use that or something similar to that program, but I can't tell you what a lifesaver that's been for me too. I didn't even start using it until probably maybe 6 or 7 weeks out. Up until that point, I wasn't even counting anything. I just figured I knew I was under my calories, you know, that I wasn't getting too many calories at that point. So I really wasn't worried about anything other than getting in my water and protein. But what I found out once I did start tracking is that I was only getting in like 500 or 600 calories a day on average, which I think was just too low. I mean, I think my body was, you know, holding on to the extra weight, you know, thinking it was in the starvation mode. So I just, as kind of an experiment, I upped it myself. I didn't ask anybody, or I didn't ask my doctor or anything, but I just started, you know, getting in like 700 to 900 calories a day, and I started seeing bigger losses. So I think for me that was the trick to, you know, get it moving again. And I did mention when I had my 3-month post-op with my nurse the other week, or last week it was, she wasn't, you know, she didn't think I should be getting in more than 500 or 600 calories at this stage, but not that I don't want to, you know, listen to her, but I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. It's working for me. And plus, I just don't think it's healthy to keep staying at like 500 or 600 calories a day. At this point, I'm almost 4 months out now. So, you know, until it stops, you know, and still I see something that's not working, I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. So, other than that, I don't know if anybody else. Hi, it's me again. I'm back. I had to take care of my barking dogs. I had to stop the video there for a minute, but just wanted to get back on. And the only other thing that I can really think of to talk about is the hair loss. So let's see, I'm 3.5 months out now, so I've just been every day, especially after the 3-month mark, I've been kind of just watching to see the hair start coming out in clumps like everybody talks about. I haven't had anything. So I don't want to get too excited to think that I totally dodged that bullet, you know, totally, but boy, I sure hope so. And I know it can still happen, you know, 5-6 months out, whatever, but I just would have thought I would have started seeing some by now, but nothing. So I don't know, you know, all I'm really doing is doing the biotin, and then I'm really pretty diligent about getting in my protein. There's probably only been a handful of times where I haven't gotten in a minimum of 50 grams of protein a day. Usually it's, you know, 70 or more. So I'm sure that does help. I know there's a lot of people that just don't or can't get in all their protein and don't seem to, you know, make that much of an effort to get it in, but I have, and you know, I think it's really helped, at least so far, without, you know, not having any hair loss. So I'm going to just keep doing that. And I also do, I also use this shampoo. It's an Aveda shampoo. I can't think of the name. It's kind of a weird name, but it's kind of like the, I think it's Nioxin that some people have talked about using for thinning hair or hair loss or whatever. So I have been religiously using that pretty much since 2 months out. So I don't really know if that's having any, if that's helping. I guess that's all I've been using for the last 2 months, so I don't know if it would have been better or worse if I wasn't using that shampoo, but I don't know. I figured it can't hurt, so I'm going to keep using it. And but yeah, just glad that hasn't happened yet. And other than that, I think that's all I can really think of. If anybody has any questions or wants to know anything, feel free to inbox me or just leave me a comment.